Hi Jojo, how are we get that? Welcome to video 2 of this tutorial series where we'll be taking data from an Arduino and uploading it to the internet via the ESP8266 Wi-Fi module. In this video we'll be taking our previous setup from video 1, which is this setup right here, and adding a few additional components and then flashing it with firmware. If you're only after joining us here in video 2, I'll add a circuit diagram of the setup from video 1 so you can just jump straight in, but I do advise going back and watching video 1. So let's have a look at the additional components. All we have here is 2 female to male jumper cables and that's it. So let's get stuck in. Right, first thing we're going to do is take our brown cable and plug it into the reset pin, which is right here. Then plug the male end into the breadboard. Then take the purple cable and put that into GPIO 0, and that also goes back to the breadboard. I'll put up a pin-out diagram of the ESP as well, which I should have done in the first video, but here we are. So from here, all you have to do is go to the computer and download the flashing application and the firmware. In the description below, I'll have a link to where you can download the flashing application and the firmware. Follow that link, and that should bring you to a Google Drive folder. In here, there should be 2 files. Download both files. You want to keep that. Then we go to our downloads. Go to your ESP8266 flasher, open that up. That's our flasher. And then go to bin, and then click on AT firmware. Now from here, we want to take our COM1 and change it to whatever COM port the Arduino is using. In video 1, we found that my Arduino was using COM port 3. Okay, now we're almost ready to flash the firmware, but first we have to put the ESP8266 into programming mode. And to do that, we go back to the breadboard, we take the brown jumper cable which is connected to the reset pin, we put the reset pin to the negative rail, we put that to ground, and then we take the purple which is connected to the GPIO 0 and we connect that to ground also. Now we remove the reset, put it back at the breadboard, and remove the GPIO 0. The board is now in programming mode and ready to be flashed. So we press download, so it's connecting, erasing the old flash, and it's going to reflash the whole module. So that'll take a few minutes and we'll come back to that when it's done. Excellent, so it's done there now, and it says leaving failed to leave flash mode. That's fine, that just means that it can't get out of the loop, so it can't exit that. That's perfect, we'll just exit out with that and it's done then. Our ESP8266 is now flashed and with a new firmware. So what are we going to do with that then? So we go back into our Arduino IDE, go back to tools, and we'll open up the serial monitor. And inside in here we're going to do some AT commands now. So I get up the AT command list, which is there. I will have that down in the description as well. First thing we're going to do is AT, and we get an OK back. Next thing that we're going to do is AT plus CW plus CWMODE question mark. Now what that's telling us there is, that's asking the ESP what Wi-Fi mode it's in. We want it to be in either mode 1 or mode 3. Which if you go and look over here, mode 1 is STA, which is a station. Mode 2 is an access point. We don't want it to be an access point, we want it to be a station, or we can put it as both either, and that will work equally well. So it's currently in access point mode. So we want to change it to AT plus CWMODE equals 3, and that's okay. Perfect. So next we're going to go AT plus CWLAP. Now what that's going to do is that's going to look for all the local access points that we can connect to. This happens to be the one that I'm using here. So the next thing we're going to do is try and connect to the router. That is my SSID. So AT plus CW JAP join access point equals quotation. You can just copy it from here. Copy that in there, and then you put the password in here and in quotations as well, and press enter. I'm not going to put in my one obviously, so you can just put in your own one, and then you should see OK and then come up after that. And when you do, that means your ESP is successfully connected to your internet connection, which is pretty class. That's it then for this video. In the next video, we're going to go on and create a ThingSpeak account where we're going to be uploading our data to. That's kind of it then. So if you have any questions about anything that went on in this video, please put them down in the comments. If you liked it, you know, give it one of them. Subscribe, and I'm having a really good time making these, so sound.